Capricorn, mark this week down. Your own ruling planet, Saturn, just stationed exactly retrograde in your home and family house, and that almost never happens with this much force. This is the week the sky asks you point blank, is your home life as solid as you've been telling yourself? Or have you been avoiding a hard truth about it? And it's not the only big thing happening. There's a full moon slamming into your money house at the exact same time, conjunct Pluto, one of the most intense planets in the sky. Two heavyweight events, 1 week. This doesn't happen often for any sign, let alone yours specifically. Let's get into it. Money and career. Let's start with money because this week hits differently. Your money house lights up with a full moon on July 29th conjunct Pluto. That's not a small transit. That's the kind of full moon that forces a decision. And it's pulling directly against your 8th house, the house of shared resources and deep intimacy. Translation. Something about money and something about how close you let someone in are about to collide hard this week. Maybe it's a joint account. Maybe it's finally admitting how much you actually depend on someone else financially or emotionally. Whatever it is, don't dodge it. This full moon doesn't reward avoidance. Full moons never do. They pull whatever's been building quietly out into the open, ready or not. And this one has Pluto attached, which means it's not going to feel like a gentle nudge. It's going to feel like a demand. Don't be surprised if a text, a bill, or a conversation lands out of nowhere and forces the exact issue you'd rather have kept on the back burner. Meanwhile, Mars is sitting in your creativity house, and it's handing you real momentum. If you've been sitting on a creative project or a side hustle, this is your green light. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Move now. Mars doesn't stay parked in the same spot forever. This window closes soon. And whatever you've been planning to start eventually needs to become starting this week instead. Capricorn loves a 5-year plan. Mars right now is asking for a 5-day plan instead. Relationships. This is where it gets intense. Saturn, your planet, stationing retrograde in your home house means old family patterns are surfacing whether you're ready or not. Something you've been carrying quietly about home, about family, about what security even means to you. It's coming up for review. And Neptune's sitting right there with Saturn, which means there's fog mixed in with the truth. You might not see clearly at first. Give it a few days. Don't force the conclusion this week just because Capricorn hates loose ends. This one needs to breathe before it makes sense. At the same time, Venus is in your 9th house of beliefs and travel, which means a conversation about the future yours or yours with a partner is genuinely favored right now. If there's a bigger vision you've been afraid to say out loud, say it this week. The energy supports it. Venus doesn't ask you to be diplomatic about it either, just honest. Here's the twist nobody talks about. That same full moon pulling on your money house? It's also asking whether you've built your sense of security around depending only on yourself. Pluto is intense. It doesn't do subtle. If a pattern around control, trust, or merging resources with someone else has been quietly running your life this week, it surfaces, whether you invite it or not. And here's the uncomfortable part. Capricorn is genuinely good at looking self-sufficient. That's the whole reputation. But self-sufficient and actually connected aren't the same thing. And this week is going to make you feel the difference, whether you want to or not. If you're partnered, expect a real conversation about money or vulnerability to land this week. Don't dodge it into small talk. If you're single, notice whether your independence is a genuine choice or a wall you built years ago and never took down. There's a real difference between I don't need anyone as a fact and I don't need anyone as an old defense mechanism running on autopilot. And this week is genuinely good at showing you which one is actually true for you. Energy and health. This is the real headline of the week, Capricorn, so listen closely. Saturn, your own ruler, stationing retrograde directly in your home house is rare. This isn't background noise. This is your own planet pausing to ask, what have you actually built with your foundation the last 6 months? And what have you been quietly avoiding? Mercury is also clear right now in your work house, which means your mind is sharp. Use it to actually look at the answer instead of distracting yourself from it. And Capricorn, distraction is your specialty when things get uncomfortable. You'll suddenly remember 17 tasks that need doing the second something emotional comes up. Not this week. Sit still long enough to actually hear what Saturn's asking. Physically, this is a demanding week disguised as a quiet one. The emotional weight of a stationing Saturn is heavier than it looks on paper. It's not dramatic on the outside, but it's genuinely tiring on the inside. If you find yourself more exhausted than the week's actual workload explains, that's not weakness. That's Saturn doing exactly what a station does, pressing harder than a normal transit, because the planet is barely moving in the sky right now. Rest isn't optional this week. It's part of the assignment. And no, that doesn't mean a productive rest where you're secretly still working through your to-do list in your head. It means actual stillness, the kind where nothing gets accomplished, and that's the entire point. And here's the part that matters most. The lunar nodes just shifted. Your karmic growth path for the next 1.5 years points straight at your money house building real, personal financial security, not the kind that depends on merging with someone else. This week's full moon isn't random. It's the opening scene of that entire next chapter. Think of this week as the trailer for the next 18 months, not a standalone event you can forget about by Monday. Here's why that timing matters so much. Nodal shifts like this don't happen often. And when one lands the exact same week as your own ruling planet stationing retrograde, that's not coincidence. That's the sky agreeing with itself on what needs your attention right now. 2 separate systems, Saturn's cycle and the 18-month nodal cycle, both pointing at the same lesson at the same time. That almost never happens this cleanly, and when it does, it's worth paying attention to rather than filing under just another astrology thing and moving on with your day. So here's your bottom line, Capricorn. Saturn is demanding honesty about home. The full moon is demanding honesty about money and intimacy. And your own gut already knows which one you've been avoiding longer. Don't wait for the sky to spell it out any louder than it already has this week. This is about as direct as the universe gets. One more thing before you go. You built your whole identity on being the reliable one, the one who has it together, the one who doesn't need rescuing. That reputation is real and it's earned. But this week isn't testing whether you're capable. It already knows you're capable. It's testing whether you'll let anyone actually see you when you're not, and that's a genuinely harder thing to do than anything on your usual to-do list. If this hit home, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, money or home, which one's actually been bothering you. Say it plainly. This week practically demands it.